Collide, I am so glad that you are here because we are in a series called What If, where we are taking a closer look at two things that help us learn more about God: science and faith. See, here's the thing. Sometimes people act like these two things cannot go together, right? Some say if you believe in God, you can't believe anything about science. Or if you love science, you can't believe in the Bible. But see, that's not true. Science and faith, man, they don't have to be separated. They can actually help us understand more about each other. See, the one thing I think is amazing is the human body and how complex it is. And there is so much about it that science can't explain, but the Bible can. See, one of my favorite things is that science, it can't explain why we have so many parts of the body that work together with such intentional harmony, or why we are designed so precisely. See, but when we see science as something that can grow our faith, we open ourselves up to experiencing more of who God is and how He works. But a lot of people don't see it that way. Some think learning about science might actually lead you to believing that God isn't real, because science can't prove God's existence. See, others believe that science changes and God doesn't, so the two can't go together. And still others think that to really have faith, you have to give up science altogether. Maybe you've had those questions too. If science explains things, what does that mean for my faith? Or if I believe the Bible, can I still trust science? Here's what's true. God gives us incredible minds to think, to question, and to explore. And that means we don't have to choose between faith and science. We can actually use both to discover more about God. Because the more we learn about the world that God made, the more we can understand the God who made it. See, the Bible tells us this right from the very beginning in Genesis 1, verse 1. It says, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." See, this verse doesn't tell us how God made everything, but it does tell us who made it. It was God. Everything we see belongs to Him. And that's where faith and science come together. Science often asks how something works, while faith asks who and why. And both are important. So let's look at a real life example. See, Charles Darwin was a brilliant scientist who studied animals and nature and his theory of natural selection. See, he explained how species adapt and change over time. But Darwin also believed that life happened by accident, without a creator or a purpose. See, that's where faith steps in. Christians believe that everything, including you and me, was created on purpose and for a purpose. So let's open up our Bibles to Genesis 1, 26 through 27. It says, "Then God said, 'Let us make human beings in our image, to be like us. They will reign over the fish in the sea, the birds in the sky, and the livestock, and all the wild animals on earth, and the small animals that scurry along the ground.' So God created human beings in His own image. In the image of God, He created them, male and female, He created them." See, that means humans are unique. We're not accidents. We reflect God's image. When we create, when we care, when we love others, we're reflecting God's image. See, and then in Genesis 1:31, it says, "Then God looked over all He had made, and He saw that it was very good." See, God made you on purpose and for a purpose. So yes, science can tell us how things work, but faith helps us understand why. See, science and faith can work together to show us more about God. See, here's the thing. It's kind of like gravity. See, if I drop this book, will it float or will it fall? Right? The book falls because of gravity. See, the invisible force pulling it to the ground, that's how it falls. But why does gravity exist? So we can stay grounded, so life can function as it should. See, there's a purpose behind gravity. It's the same with us. God didn't create us by accident. He made us on purpose, with purpose, to know him, to love him, to reflect his own image to the world. So what do we do with all this then? Do we throw out Derwin and all other people like him? Do we ignore what has been documented in the Bible for us about the way that we're created because it doesn't make sense scientifically? See, I actually don't think we have to do either. See, when we're faced with questions about science and faith, I want us to start asking better questions. Number one is ask how. Don't be afraid to learn more about science, to study it, to explore it, to question it. God isn't scared of your curiosity. Learning how things work helps us to see the detail and brilliance in God's design. Number two is ask why. See, as you learn about the world, also ask why. Why did God make it that way? Why did he make you? Asking why helps you connect what we see in science to God's purpose and his heart. Number three is combine how and why. When you learn about the human body, space, or nature, think about how it works and why God made it that way. See, both help you see a bigger picture of who God is. So remember, science and faith can work together to show us more about God. So as you head to small group, think about where you've seen God in the world around you. Maybe it's in nature, technology, or even in the way that people care for one another. Your group is a great place to talk about your questions and your discoveries. No question's too big or too weird, right? We're all learning together. So as you go, man, think about this question. What's one question you have about science and faith? Collide, it was great hanging with you. We'll see you next week.